Title: I came home earlier than expected and found my cheating wife in bed with 3 lovers. Quietly, I took a gun from the safe, blocked their cars, and called her, saying, "Darling, plans have changed. I'll be home in 10 minutes." I built my life on 2 pillars: hard work and trust. As the CEO of a luxury hotel chain based in Vienna, my days were often consumed by high-stakes meetings, investor pitches, and meticulous planning. Through it all, my wife, Isabella, had been my rock, or so I thought. We met during my early career days when I was still climbing the ladder. Isabella, with her fiery red hair and a laugh that could light up any room, had been the love of my life. We married after 2 years of dating, and I spared no expense to give her the life she deserved. From a penthouse overlooking the Danube to vacations in Santorini, I thought I had provided her with everything. But that illusion shattered one fateful afternoon. My day had started in the usual way: coffee, a quick workout, and a video call with my London investors. I had planned to attend a gala that evening in Salzburg, a networking event that would keep me away until midnight. However, a last-minute cancellation left me with an unexpected free afternoon. I decided to surprise Isabella. I didn't call her, wanting to catch her off guard in the best way possible. I pictured her delight as I walked through the door with her favorite macarons from a patisserie she adored. It never crossed my mind that I might find something else. As I approached our penthouse, I noticed something strange. The balcony door, which Isabella was always meticulous about locking, was ajar. My chest tightened, a gnawing suspicion crawling into my thoughts. When I stepped inside, the silence was deafening. The faint hum of the refrigerator was the only sound until a muffled laugh broke through the stillness. My heart sank. The sound wasn't coming from the living room or the kitchen, but from our bedroom. I moved silently, careful not to alert anyone to my presence. The door was ajar just enough for me to see inside. There she was, Isabella, entangled with not 1, but 3 men. They laughed and whispered, completely oblivious to the world outside that room. Time froze. My hands trembled as a wave of emotions crashed over me: anger, betrayal, disbelief. My wife, the woman I had loved and trusted for over a decade, had turned our sanctuary into a stage for her infidelity. In that moment, 1,000 scenarios raced through my mind. I could have burst into the room, confronting them in a fit of rage. I could have screamed, demanded answers, or thrown them out. But instead, a cold, calculated calm took over. I wasn't going to act on impulse. I was going to take control. I backed away, careful not to make a sound, and headed for the safe in my study. Inside was my handgun, a Glock I had kept for protection but never thought I'd need. I wasn't planning to use it, but its presence would be enough to make a point. Next, I headed to the underground parking garage. I located the 3 cars I didn't recognize, luxury vehicles that reeked of arrogance, and used my spare keys to block them in with my own car. They wouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. Finally, I went back to the balcony and stood in the cool afternoon breeze. With steady hands, I dialed Isabella's number. "Darling," I began, my voice deceptively warm. "Plans have changed. The gala was cancelled, so I'll be home in about 10 minutes. There was a long pause on the other end, followed by a nervous laugh. "Oh, that's wonderful, Leo. I'll see you soon." Her voice betrayed nothing, but I could almost hear the gears turning in her head as she scrambled to figure out how to cover her tracks. "By the way," I added, "make sure the place is tidy. I'd hate for anything to ruin our evening." I hung up without waiting for a response and stepped back into the penthouse, preparing for what would come next. When I re-entered the apartment, I was greeted by the sound of hurried footsteps and hushed whispers. Isabella appeared first, her hair disheveled, her face flushed. She tried to act casual, but her eyes darted nervously. "Leo, you're early," she said, forcing a smile. "Yes," I replied evenly, setting the macarons on the counter. "I thought it would be nice to surprise you." Behind her, the 3 men emerged one by one. They were a mismatched trio, each trying and failing to appear nonchalant. I let the silence stretch, watching as their bravado crumbled. "So," I said, leaning against the counter, "are you going to introduce me to your Friends? Isabella stammered, but no words came out. One of the men, clearly the boldest of the group, stepped forward. "Look, man, this isn't what it looks like," he began, his voice shaky. "Oh, I think it's exactly what it looks like," I replied, pulling the Glock from behind me and placing it on the counter. I didn't point it at anyone. I didn't need to. The message was clear. The tension in the room was palpable. I took my time, pacing slowly as I addressed each of them. "You," I said, pointing at the bold one. "Do you know where my wife got the necklace she's wearing? I bought it for her during a trip to Venice, a city of romance. Ironic, isn't it?" He didn't answer, his face pale. "And you two," I continued, turning to the others. "Do you even know her middle name? Or is she just a thrill to you?" Finally, I turned to Isabella. "I've given you everything, haven't I? A life most people can only dream of. And this is how you repay me?" Tears streamed down her face, but I felt no sympathy. She had made her choices. "Here's what's going to happen," I said, my voice icy. "You three are going to leave and never come back. Your cars are blocked in, so you'll have to wait for the tow truck. And Isabella?" She looked at me, her expression pleading. "You're going to pack your things and be out of here by tomorrow. The divorce papers will be on your desk by morning." The aftermath was messy, but liberating. Isabella tried to apologize, claiming she had been lost and needed excitement. But her words meant nothing to me. I had already filed for divorce and made sure the settlement reflected her betrayal. Minimal, at best. The three men. They slunk away in shame, their egos bruised and their reputations tarnished. Word spread quickly in our social circles, and none of them dared to show their faces again. As for me, I focused on rebuilding. The betrayal had been painful, but it had also been a wake-up call. I poured my energy into my business, expanding my hotel chain and finding new opportunities. I also started therapy, determined not to let bitterness take root. Months later, I found myself on a yacht in the Mediterranean, attending a business retreat. There I met Sophia, a lawyer with a sharp wit and a kind heart. Unlike Isabella, she valued honesty and integrity above all else. Our connection was instant, but this time I was cautious. I took my time, learning to trust again, one step at a time. Sophia taught me that betrayal didn't define me. It was a chapter in my story, not the whole book. With her, I found not just love, but a renewed sense of purpose. As the sun set over the sparkling water, I raised a glass of champagne. Life, I realized, had a way of breaking you apart so it could put you back together, stronger and wiser. "Sometimes," I said softly, "the worst betrayals lead to the best beginnings." And with that, I closed the chapter on my past, ready to embrace the future.